There's also, I found there's bigger matches over there too.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Haynes. I use the pronouns he, him. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Brunswick. UUCB is located on the ancestral homelands of the Wabanaki people who have deep, enduring, and ongoing relationships with Brunswick's lands and waterways. We acknowledge the painful legacy of the region's colonial history and commit to better understanding it. We will work to recognize and welcome the presence and concerns of the Wabanaki, whose people and culture live within and contribute to the vitality of this community we share. Today is Sunday, November 23rd, 2025. Leading the service today is Reverend Dr. Karma Amos, and the titles of the reflection today is Generating Gratitude Together. Music today is performed by Will Bristol and the UUCB Choir. If you're new or visiting today and would like more information about our congregation, please stop by the visitors table in the fellowship hall in the back corner. The folks there will be happy to answer any of your questions. As we begin today's service, please remember to silence your electronic devices. Again, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Good morning. My name is Sam Nord, and my pronouns are she and her.
My name is River Nord, and my pronouns are he and him.
And my name is Brad Nord, and my pronouns are he and him.
And we are here to read the chalice lighting, and this is from Michelle Collins. We arrive carrying the familiar ache of not enough. Not enough time, not enough rest, not enough certainty about what comes next. But here, in the space between one breath and another, something small and persistent whispers, "You are held."
We come from days that felt too ordinary to notice, commutes and meetings, dishes and deadlines, the unremarkable hours that make up most of living. But buried in the mundane lie small miracles we walk past without seeing.
Some of us learn to count blessings on our fingers, others to whisper thanks to ancestors or earth or sky. We carry different languages of gratitude, different ways of recognizing what sustains us. All of them welcome here.
Good morning, beloveds. My name is Karma Amos. I use she, her pronouns, and it is my honor truly to be your minister. This morning, we begin another grand experiment in our ongoing discernments regarding growth in our congregation. And so we have groups of people joining us remotely this morning via live stream at the Evening Star Cinema in Brunswick. We hope that you are enjoying your popcorn and one another. In the theater at the Highlands Retirement Community, and we hope that you are enjoying your fellowship as well. And of course, in homes all over that are joining us online. Wherever you are joining us from, we remind you that whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the details of your background that make you you, you are welcome here. We honor your inherent worth and dignity. This is the final week that we'll be focusing on our theme of generating gratitude. This is an intergenerational service, which means that our children and youth will be with us throughout and offering us some of their gifts and leadership in this service as well, which makes me very grateful on theme. Very grateful to be part of a community that values the creation of intentional intergenerational space, where we can learn from those of you who have been at this life thing a long time, and from those who see the world with fresh eyes, and to all of us in between. We are a spiritual community seeking to center love in all that we do, and we invite you to join us in this vital work. Because what we're able to do together far surpasses what any one of us could do on our own. We need one another, and we are gratefully in this together. So welcome. Let us enter worship with open hearts and minds, ready to receive something life-affirming today.
I'd like to welcome the choir up to the steps, as well as any children or children at heart who would like to join us in some singing.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Oh, we give thanks
For this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious
Please rise in body or in spirit. Come, come, whoever you are. Let's go again together. If you are a child at heart, please stay up for the time for all ages. If not, please have a seat.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I didn't even have to call you up. You just were here. That was pretty magical. Thank you for coming on up. How are you all this morning? Good. I heard a couple good. I don't know. What was yours? Kind of? Kind of what? Kind of good. All right, I like it. Oh, okay. Good, kind of. All right. So our friends that are in our youth group are passing out some stones right now, and I think you all noticed that I'm also holding some more of those. I'm going to talk to you about them a little bit before we play with them, but does anybody know what this stone is called? Amethyst, wow. Do you know this because you do a lot of stones in your crowns and things like this? How do you know amethyst?
Because we all have a piece of amethyst and rose quartz in my family.
Everybody in your family has rose quartz and amethyst. That's really, really lovely. Has anybody heard of the stone amethyst before? No, yes, I hear a couple yeses. For my friends who have heard of amethyst, do you know anything about it? It's a purple crystal. That's a lot to know about amethyst, in fact. Yeah. It is found in geodes. Yeah, this comes from the earth. It comes from the ground. And it comes in these pieces, they're called dog tooths, because they kind of look like a dog tooth. Yeah. The amethyst that you have at home is probably not jagged, right? Is it smooth? You have one at home?
There's also like gems that they come in balls, but then you crack them open and they look like amethyst, but they're not actually.
That's a geode. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It's like a big rock, but you crack it open, and inside there's crystals, but those are not necessarily amethyst. Yeah. You went through a geode phase, or just kind of. You know what I like about geodes? This is off the subject, but we're doing some work here. They don't look like much on the outside, right? They just kind of look like a rock. And then when you do some work and you get them open, they're pretty gorgeous. Yeah?
I have one. I wish I brought it.
You wish you brought your geode? I wish you brought your geode. I think that we finally are at a place where all of our grown-ups have an amethyst. Can I share them? Can I share amethyst with you? So what I would like you to do is take a piece and then pass the basket to the next person, please. And help each other if you need help steadying the basket so that we don't get amethyst all over the place. And River, when it comes to you, there are some folks behind you who will need you to give the basket to them. Yeah, so take a look. You have this precious purple rock. This is a raw piece of amethyst. So it's not as shiny as you might see in some other places. Sometimes amethyst is used in jewelry, things like that. Yours is plenty shiny. Charlie has realized if you hold it up to the light, sometimes you can see a little bit through it. Yeah, it's quite lovely, right? It's purple on the inside. I like a geode with a cave in the middle. So why did I give you amethyst? Why did I pass out rocks during a service? Anybody? Maya? It's probably going to relate to what we're talking about. Maya knows me pretty well.
Just talk about like geodes, and it kind of seemed like they don't look like much on the outside, but within, I feel like that's gonna probably relate to like.
You think I'm going to tie this into and beauty? I'm not going to tie it into geodes. You brought up geodes. And Tess is balancing it on her nose, which is very cool, because that's right between your eyes, which is sort of energetically known as your third eye. And these are a pretty woo-woo thing. There are earth-centered religions that hold on, our spiritualities, that hold on to things that come from the earth and hold on to things that come from the earth because they feel the energy of connection to the earth when they hold them. And so we're talking a lot about what today? It begins with a G. Geode. Gratitude, gratitude. The gift that keeps on giving. We are not all going to balance them on our nose. So we're thinking about gratitude. What does it mean to be grateful? What does it mean to be grateful, Charlie? Charlie, do you know what it means to be grateful? What does it mean to be grateful?
When you're grateful, like for someone when they did something nice.
You're grateful for someone when they do something nice. Anybody else? River?
Being grateful basically means like you have thanks for someone who does something generous for you.
You have thanks when someone does something generous. I saw a hand over here.
Or like you can be grateful for like if someone does something nice for like your friend or something.
Oh, you can be grateful if somebody does something nice for a friend. Tess?
If you really want something, but when a little kid wants it would really like you do, you could give it to them.
You could be grateful if you see a little kid who wants something just as bad as you do, and you give it to them.
And I remember the first time I finally won one of those new claw machines. They were really, really hard. I finally got something. And one of my friends, this little kid, he's like, "Can I please have it?" And I gave it to them. But it was like, I was like nice, but like in my head, I'm like, ugh. Why? The one time I was sitting there for like 15 minutes.
Holden, I also saw your hand go up when we talked about gratitude and gratefulness. Do you have something you wanted to share about gratitude? Appreciating what you have. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So one of the things about gratitude, I don't know if you all know this, but if you start to notice what you're grateful for, you start to look around and maybe you're like in your room and you're like, ooh, I have great toys. I'm so grateful for that doll. Wow, I'm really grateful for that train set. I'm really grateful for that book. Do you ever notice that like you can just keep going with your gratitude? Like it can just get bigger and bigger and bigger? We're all grateful you were born. So amethyst, what it does energetically from the earth is it helps to amplify, magnify, make bigger gratitude. So here's what we're going to practice doing together. So you have to activate your amethyst. So you take it and you hold it in your hands and you kind of warm it up a little bit. Yours is already warm? Yeah. Amethyst really picks up energy very easily. So that's also how it helps to pass the energy. So now you're going to take it and you're going to just hold it over your heart. It's sort of like your, there you go, you all got it, okay. So as we're holding it over our heart, I'd like you to think about something that makes you feel grateful. You don't have to say it out loud, you can just think about it. And now I want you to imagine that the amethyst stone that you're holding over your heart is glowing, beautiful purple. Now I want you to let that purple spread out all around you, all around everybody up here. See if you can get it to go all the way up to the ceiling, all the way out to where the doors are, way out into the spaces where we usually meet. And I want you to picture that gratitude and that purple energy spreading out all over Brunswick, now all over Maine, now all over the world. Do you feel it? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And so when we share our gratitude, it gets bigger and bigger, and we can give it away to other people. How does your heart feel when you think about gratitude? Does it feel like, or does it feel like, yeah, right? Your heart feels good when you, When you held it to your heart, it kept getting warmer and warmer as you were spreading the purple all around. Yeah. So thank you, friends, for coming on up here. I would like you to hold on to your amethyst. Some of you have sharp amethysts, so maybe if you have a grown-up who will hold it for you, that might be a good idea. We aren't going to sing you out, but I would love to have you go back to your seats. All right, thank you, everyone. I'm grateful you were here.
Good morning. I'm Joel Austin, a member of the pastoral care team. He, him are my pronouns. Before we get to the recordings in the book, I want you to be aware that if you are not attending in-person services from the pulpit, you can send an email to joys-and-concerns@uucb.org. No, uubrunswick.org. We're going to get this right. And it's up there, yes? If you would like to talk with one of us after the service, look for the light blue ribbons on our name tags. Our names are also in the order of worship. We would be happy to meet with you here or meet with you later. We offer a listening ear and our presence. We have a couple of joys and a concern here. I'm going to go to the concern first. Handwriting is always a challenge. Sad to lose my friend Nancy Greenleaf, but so glad her path crossed mine. Betty. For joys, Marianne Gessner is cancer-free. And thank you all for good wishes, gifts, cards, etc. Quite happy for the beginning of the winter season and its festivities to take place once again. That's from River Nord. Thank you.
Would you join me in a time of prayer and contemplation? Spirit of life, we open our hearts and turn our attention to life itself, to the moments in our individual lives that lift us, those times we just happen to be in the right place at the right time to witness nature's mystery and magic, the tenderness of kindness and care given by strangers or intimate beloveds, the delight when we find ourselves overtaken by laughter or awe. Those moments can ground us in the times of life when we need balance, when we are overwhelmed or numb, when we are worried or afraid, when we are restless or frustrated or discouraged. Today we give thanks that in all of our lives we are not alone, but connected through the great interdependent web of life. And because of that, together we are resilient and strong. Let us lift our voices in gratitude. For each day I live, oh love, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day. This is a week in our country when we observe a complicated holiday. Thanksgiving, when we are encouraged to practice gratitude for all that sustains our life, is observed by others as a national day of mourning, to draw attention to the colonial history that has been erased in certain retellings of the Thanksgiving story, and the multiple lingering impacts on Indigenous people and communities. And the tension between those things seems about right, because gratitude does not cancel out difficulty. It helps us hold both. Thanks for that which nourishes life and sadness for that which limits it. May we be mindful this week of life's complexity. May we be kind and loving to ourselves and the other people we may encounter who are probably also trying to do their best. May our singing together amplify our gratitude. For each day I live, oh love, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. For each day I live, oh love, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. For each day I live, oh love, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. Amen.
Hello, my name is Maya McMahon, and my pronouns are she and they.
Hello, my name is Sadie Wigmore, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hello, my name is Mira Piampiano, and my pronouns are she, her. Today, we are going to be doing a reading called If the Moon Came Out Only Once a Month by Kathy Ross.
If the moon came out only once a month, people would appreciate it more. They'd mark it in their date books, take a walk by the moonlight, notice how their bedroom window framed its silver smile. And if the moon came out just once a year, it would be a holiday, with tinsel streamers tied to lampposts, stores closing early so no one has to work on Lunar Eve, travelers rushing home by moonlight, celebrations with champagne and cheese, and folks would stay awake till dawn to watch it turn transparent and slowly fade away.
And if the moon came out randomly, the world would be on wide alert, never knowing when it might appear, spotters scanning empty skies, weathermen giving odds on TV, a 10% chance of moon. And when it suddenly began to rise, everyone would cry out, "The moon is out!" Crowds would fill the streets, jostling and pointing. Night events would be canceled, moon closure signs posted on the doors. And if the moon rose but once a century, ascending luminous and lush on the long-awaited night, all humans on the planet would gather in huddled, whispering groups to stare in awe, dazzled by its brilliance, enchanted by its spell. Years later, they would tell their children, "Yes, I saw it once. Maybe one day you will see it too."
But the moon is always with us, an old familiar face, like a mantel clock. No one pays it much attention. Tonight, why not go outside and gaze up in wonder as if you'd never seen it before, as if it were a miracle, as if you had been waiting, all your life.
Give me just a minute while I search for a sermon about geodes. I'll just go back to gratitude. My deepest source of gratitude here at UUCB is simply being in relationship with you. The people of this congregation, all of you, really are remarkable. Each one of you is unique, very unique. We could even say, you unique. Right, that was bad. It's okay, grown appropriate. Each one of you is like a living lesson about life, the heart of it. And I learn so much from you all the time. A recent example was following our worship committee meeting a couple of months ago when we began talking about generating gratitude. And one of the newer members of our committee, John Robert O'Connor, shared about some research about gratitude and promised to send me some follow-up information by email. The next morning when I received his email, he wrote the following: I think that tonight we answered the question, what happens when you ask a PhD student about gratitude? The PhD student is going to share published scholarly resources. That was such a delight to my heart. It made me literally laugh out loud. And I love that people come here and bring themselves with their own perspectives, from their own context, with their own gifts. And in sharing those things with one another, we are all changed if we will allow ourselves to be. We are made wiser and more compassionate in the sharing of our lives with one another. The bottom line of the research that John Robert shared is that gratitude has risen in popularity and impact as one of the most effective psychological and spiritual practices for enhancing overall well-being. Two of the research scenarios were a gratitude visit and a 3 good things in life exercise. I'll say just a little bit about each one of them. In the gratitude visit, participants in the study were given 1 week to write and then deliver a letter in person to someone who had been especially kind to them, but who had never been properly thanked for that kindness. The outcome of that study showed that this practice caused largely positive changes in the person's life for a month. I can only guess what the positive benefit was for the person who was being thanked, right? In the 3 good things in life study, participants were asked to write down for 1 week 3 things that went well each day, and then they were asked to provide a causal explanation for those things. So how did that happen? And the results of that research indicate that the practice increased happiness and decreased depressive symptoms for 6 months. 1 week of practice for 6 months of benefit sounds like a pretty good return on investment to me. Not that spiritual practices work like that. Let me be sure to say that. These studies have been repeated in various ways, and the results continue to confirm that the practice of gratitude, not just the feeling, but the practice, is hugely beneficial. Now, I want to be sure to make this not sound too trivial or easy. For anyone who's gone through a devastating time in life and been told, just be grateful and it'll be okay, you probably know that that can ring rather hollow and sometimes be harmful even. Gratitude, as I mentioned before, does not cancel out difficulty. And sometimes we really do have to work through some things in life that take time. The practice of gratitude isn't about spiritually bypassing those aspects of life that don't feel good. And it's not a way of bypassing the work that we need to do. And it is also true that the practice of gratitude can benefit us even or especially when our lives are hard. Would you take a breath with me? This reflection is entitled Generating Gratitude Together, and what might not have been clear until now is that this is a group reflection. So today, I don't want to tell you so much about generating gratitude together as I want to give us an experience of doing so. So we're going to do a little 3 good things in life exercise right now together. It's a little like counting our blessings, as many of us may have learned to do as children. Did you learn to do that as children? Count your blessings, name them one by one. That's what I learned. So you might think about this practice as a metaphorical way of putting on a different lens to look at your life. For me, when I get up in the morning, before I put these on, I cannot see very clearly at all. Have no idea who you are. But when I put them on, things come into focus and I'm able to see more clearly. So what we want to invite you to do now is metaphorically look through a gratitude lens at your life just this past week. And if you really want to challenge yourself, just this morning. And consider what aspects of your experience have gone well. What gave you satisfaction or contentment or pleasure? And for each thing, consider who was responsible for that. If it's a tangible gift, for example, where did it come from? Who made it? How did it get to you? How many people were involved in that process? You're with me? You're following me? Just say yes. Okay. So right now in silence, we're going to take just 2 minutes. I'm going to set a timer even. And just think back and see if you can think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And we'll start right now. Now, one of the best parts of being in community is that our capacity for noticing and giving energy to something is increased in our sharing. So I want to invite you to turn to a person near you. If you need to make a threesome, that's okay. And share at least one of your 3 things with them. And we're just going to take another 2 minutes, 1 for each of you. I'll set the timer again. 2 minutes is a lot longer than you think, but don't go on and on. Don't let the gratitude run amok. And I'm going to set this timer for 2. So find a person that you'll talk with, and I'll tell you when it's halfway through. You want to share with me?
Let's go first.
Okay, well, you can switch now. All right, friends. Now, before we come back together, just say thank you to your conversation partner. The practice of generating gratitude together is not only good for us, it is one of the ways that we change the world. And one of the ways that we sustain ourselves for the work of changing the world. In her book, The Serviceberry, Indigenous scientist and author Robin Wall Kimmerer tells us this: acknowledging the gifts that you've received creates a sense of abundance, the knowing that you already have what you need. In the view of the Anishinaabe, the indigenous peoples of the Great Lakes, it's not just fruits like the serviceberry that are considered gifts, rather all of the sustenance that the land provides, the splints for baskets, roots for medicine, the trees whose bodies make our home, and the pages for our newspapers. These things are provided by the lives of more than human beings. When we speak of these not as things, but as gifts, our whole relationship to the natural world can change. In an economy based on gratitude and reciprocity, I accept the gift and spread it around, with a dish of berries to my neighbor who makes a pie to share with his friend, who feels so wealthy in food and in friendship that he volunteers at the food pantry. Friends, as we think about giving thanks this week, may we be encouraged to practice gratitude all year long, in every season of life. And as much as possible, let us encourage one another by making our practice communal. Let's continue to generate gratitude together and to openly share it with one another often. How's that sound?
This is the time in the service when we receive your offering. All Sunday non-pledge cash is split with monthly charities of soul. This month's charity is Mid-Coast Literacy. If you're worshiping with us in person, you can put your donations in the baskets that will be passed. And if you're worshiping with us either online at home or at one of our new satellite locations, or simply prefer to give online, we invite you to use the QR code on the screen and also shared in the order of service to make your donation. We gratefully receive your gifts no matter how you give them. If you're in person and have difficulty with the QR code, please feel free to find me or Irene over by the stained glass window after service, and we're happy to provide assistance. Thank you. And now would you please join me in the congregational response? May these offerings sustain and grow the work of the church, weaving a tapestry of love and action. And if you are willing and able, please stand and join us for our closing song, number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
Our closing words this morning are from Adam Wilson in the Peasantry School newsletter. It is a prayer and a blessing. For the dark soil that cradles the seed, for the rains that bring forth the green leaves, for the stars that give form to the flowers, for the warm sun that ripens the fruit, for the animals whose lives allow ours, for the hunger that brings us together, for the kind folks gathered round the table, for the fabric we weave with these words, for all this goodness and mercy, we give thanks.
I'm Irene Austin, one of the worship associates. My pronouns are she, her. Because we are intentional about building the beloved community here, it's important for us to engage in the practice of invitation. We genuinely want you to know that you are welcome to become involved in our community beyond our Sunday worship. The QR code on the screen will take you to a digital copy of our announcement sheets, and several copies of those are available on the harvest table if you prefer something more tangible. Here are a few things we want to make sure to highlight.
We are having a U and UU membership workshop today following the service. If you are interested but did not register in advance, please join us anyway. That's at 11:30 in the Mary Meeting Bay Room. In case you did not know, we are having a holiday fair in just 2 weeks, Saturday, December 6th from 9 to 3 p.m. You do not want to miss it. Speaking of the holiday fair needs volunteers to bake, make soups and crafts, to sell and greet, and to eat and shop. Please sign up in the Mary Sarton room after church today. Someone will be wearing a festive and perhaps embarrassing holiday gear and direct you to the sign-up sheets today and next Sunday. Stop by the harvest table after church this Sunday if you're interested in a holiday fair craft kit to make at home. Many hands make light work.
There are only 2 more opportunities to donate to the Santa Project today and next week. The Santa Project accepts non-alcohol use only Hannaford gift cards of $5 or $10, money or checks made out to UUCB with the Santa Project in the notation. Everything collected will go to the gathering place to help make Christmas a little merrier for unhoused folks or others in need. Please see Mary Larson, Sharon Brown's substitute, wearing the Santa hat in the fellowship hall after the service today or next week. Every contribution helps. Thank you. And finally, we want to give those of you seated in the back 6 rows in the fellowship hall first dibs at coffee, while others of you linger here just a few moments to enjoy conversation with your neighbors. The dual purpose of this is so that we can stack your chairs to make more space for socializing. It should only take a few minutes. You're also welcome to bring your coffee back in here and make circles of the chairs for casual conversation. And thanks so much for your patience as we experiment together. And remember, you can also exit through the door by the AV room as well if you need a quicker way out. So, please greet your neighbors and people sitting in the last 6 rows. Ready, set, go.